What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja, and today I want to talk about the TAQ-56 in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. If you guys don't know, this weapon is the SCAR weapon platform from other shooters, whether it's Battlefield, Rainbow Six Siege, or Call of Duty games. This is the SCAR, and the specific version, or the specific one we are talking about, is the SCAR L, last seen in Modern Warfare 2 and I believe Battlefield 3, and this is one of my favorite weapons in any shooter. Collectively, in real life, it's just such a well-performing weapon. I love it, and I'm excited to see multiple different platforms in the game, and we are certainly going to be talking about the other ones because those are just as good next to this one. But today we're going to be talking about what I consider one of the best assault rifles in the game right now, and the main reason for that, it has a great balance of damage and recoil. This is something very rare in guns in this game. Usually if you have great recoil control, it does have slower ADS time. If you guys have great damage, it usually has higher recoil, and right now this weapon feels to be in a perfect middle ground that truly makes it one of the best in the game right now. Now, one of the reasons why it can be the best is honestly its iron sights. These are my favorite iron sights in the game. You guys will be seeing in the gameplay. I see things clearly no matter the range, and honestly it just visual recoil for this at least isn't that bad compared to other weapons, so it checks off that list. And if you guys are judging weapons in this game, one of the most important things about it can be iron sights. So if it has bad iron sights, then usually that weapon may be down on the list because you have to have an optic, and those optics can add slower ADS time. Again, I don't really like 100% how they optimize the attachments. It's really everything that even some stuff doesn't make sense, you know, slowing down your ADS time. But again, maybe things change in the near future. Now let's talk about the best loadout for this weapon. First on the list, let's talk about we are utilizing 5 attachment slots for this gunsmith feature. There's been a lot of talk among the community how naked guns feel better than fully kitted weapons. While I agree to a certain extent with that sentiment, I don't think it's 100% true, and I think the TAQ-56 proves that. You'll see why. So first on the list, we're going to talk about the Echoless 80 suppressor. This is a solid choice collectively for any muzzle on any weapon. Now, while it does have negative effects on your aim down sight speed and aiming stability, benefits are pretty important for me and pretty essential. It gives you sound suppression, of course, because it's a silencer, it increases your bullet velocity, increases your damage range, and it has recoil smoothness built in. This should help with some of the visual recoil. With some of the, recoil control stuff we are going to be adding on, or at least in this case taking away from this weapon with certain other attachments, you'll get in when you see more about it. Now, next on the list, we have the Demo IP44 grip under barrel. Now, this grants aiming idle stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization. It also has negative aim down sight speed and negative walking speed. The cons are pretty drastic and something I kind of don't think anyone wants to cater into, but the hipfire accuracy is something that's pretty important because if you do get caught with your barrel down, not aiming up, then this gives you a chance to fight back, and it's pretty solid. Now we have a laser, and it specifically is the FTAC green line laser. Now this also gives us more hip recoil control, hip fire accuracy, and it helps with our sprint to fire speed, but at the same time it is visible at the hip, which can be a con to some people. I don't think it's too visible, but again, some people may view this as exposing themselves if they are hiding in a corner or having a tight angle. But I do really encourage people to have this because sprint to fire speed is something you would definitely want to incorporate with the way Modern Warfare 2's movement functions. And again, hip fire accuracy and hip recoil control are pretty important if you do get caught with your pants down and your barrel is not up when you engage a target. Now we do have a stock, and the TV X-Line Pro is the stock we are using. Now the con you see here is negative recoil control, which may go against kind of the recoil stabilization that I've highlighted earlier, but it grants us crouch movement speed, it grants us sprint speed, and it grants us ADS time. Now, does this even out perfectly with the underbarrel and the muzzle? No, it does not, but at the same time, it does reduce those effects a little bit, and the increased sprint speed and the crouch movement speed are pretty small little notches to add to your player that really do help out when you're moving from point A to point B. And the way this game flows, this is actually something that I truly love indeed. And last on the list, we have a rear grip. This is the Demo Clean Shot grip. It grants, again, a plus in sprint to fire speed and ADS time, but again has a negative drawback of recoil control. So you guys may be wondering, how does this gun fare and how does this gun look collectively? Now the stats there on the bottom left, it doesn't really tell you too much of how maybe Cold War would tell you when it came to the gunsmith, but collectively you see there's a lot of greens and very little reds, and this feels just like that. Now the gameplay you guys are seeing, this gun just goes to town, and the main thing to realize is that this is still an assault rifle even though we kit it to sprint speed and sprint to fire speed, and even increasing our ADS time by a very little based on these stats that Infinity Ward has given us in this very non-descriptive gunsmith. Now again, even though this is an assault rifle and you still can run and gun you should probably play angles and entering lanes very cautiously and keep your sights up when you can and when you predict a gunfight. This is really important in the game itself. I've mentioned this in multiple videos. Aiming down sight before you engage a target or anticipate a target is going to win you gunfights, because you do not have to worry about a slow ADS time because you're already prepared for that engagement. Now, this may be very unusual and very much of a learning curve to many people, since ADS time has been instant in other Call of Duties recently, and this is something we have not really had to worry about. But again, it's something you should do because it's something to tactically make yourself have an advantage, whether you're camping or even running gunning. You can run and gun and be aim up at all times for the most part when you're engaging people, because you have map knowledge, you have IQ that, you know, anticipates things. And this is something you could do as a player to really counter against some of those ADS negative effects that may be present in the game itself intrinsically. Now, as an assault rifle, you can run and gun, but also you really excel in medium range, and the TAQ-56 does that masterfully. It is honestly so great for, again, damage output and recoil control, all together in one package, and you will be chaining feeds like you see in the gameplay. It's really shocking that this gun is this effective, with many good options and definitely more hard hitting options, including its counterpart, which is a 7.62 version, which I think is another solid weapon in the game. But this gun competes with it very well because of that low recoil and very good damage output. But collectively, guys, as a assault rifle, again, medium range will be your best friend. You can do close range a little bit, but just be wary that you may lose out to some of those better SMGs out there that do have that ADS time advantage and are just better in close range engagements. But besides that, use this gun as you wish. It is, again, one of the best guns in the game. And if you guys are struggling with ADS time and the way the game is built upon movement, the TAQ-56 will definitely put those complaints aside and make you feel right at home with some of the best stuff and best stats in the game. But besides that, that's all I got to say on this weapon itself. Let me know your guys' thoughts. If you guys use this weapon, is it good? Is it bad? Do you guys like this build? Do you guys not like this build? If you guys have any recommendations or things I should try out with this loadout, drop a comment down below. I'll check it out and obviously interact with you. But besides that, if you guys are new here and want more content from me, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified for when I drop more content. Also, like this video if you guys found this informative, and it just greatly helps out the video a lot and is extremely appreciated by myself. Again, really appreciate when you guys like these videos. But until then, it's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.